sorry, Brooklyn camper fans, I don't care anymore. You're not worth $243,000. Now I'm really gonna rip into you. Oh no, oh no. You're selling a $243,000 van with an all-in-one power kit. No, 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 no. Hey everybody, welcome back to They Just Don't Get It, which is a segment of my YouTube channel. If you want to call it a podcast, you can. However, it is me talking a lot about the things that not only people in general don't get, but myself included. So there's a lot of things in life that I just don't get. So during the course of this is still very early on, but during the course of this segment or series or whatever you want to call it, I will be bringing guests on and I'll be asking them questions on the things that they are experts in. Today's video, I'm going to dive back into Van Life Trader, maybe Explore Van X, and we're gonna actually pull up a few different vans that are up for sale, and we're going to hopefully educate people on why some vans cost $50,000, $60,000 fully built out, and then there are some vans that are like over 200 or over 250,000. They're the same square footage, maybe they're on the same chassis. On top of all of that, we're also going to maybe even dissect whether or not that van that we are looking at is actually worth the value that they've posted online. So we're gonna give it an appraisal from me. So what really makes me qualified for this? Well, I've been doing this since like 2016. I've built out several vans. I've worked on several vans. I'm actually wearing the shirt of the company I'm about to go start working for, even though I've worked for several other companies as more of a contract role. This is going to be a full-time employment job I took with Nomadic Customs recently, and I start next month. So you're definitely going to stay tuned to not only my channel, but the Nomadic Customs channel as well, because we're going to be diving into a lot of van life stuff on that channel as well, because I'll be running that channel. My channel will still continue doing the same thing with the tours, all the building that I do that I love to do. They Just Don't Get It podcast, which is what I'm calling it, as well as, you know, any camping tips, tricks, and all that other good jazz that I do on this channel. So make sure that you guys subscribe, because we got a lot of things coming up in the future, especially what I would really love to get into, which is like a massive renovation project and starting my own shop. Now, behind my computer screen, down there on the floor in front of my dog Glacier, maybe I'll push this aside and you guys can maybe see down over here, not the refrigerator, but there's a product called the Anker SOLIX F2000 portable power station. This video is made possible today to be completely YouTube ad free. So you have to skip or maybe watch a 5-15 second video of an ad. We're not doing that. This video is sponsored by Anker. Now listen guys, I could go into showing the portable power station as a camping setup, or maybe even as like something to use in my truck camper, or maybe like backup power for my tiny house, which I've all done in the past, but I feel like that kind of is overplayed a little bit, right? Everybody in my space is showing that Anker power station doing something like that. But I kind of wanted to show today a little more real world on what it can possibly do. So I've actually hooked up the Anker power station to not just my computer sitting here, but also the TV, that fridge that you see there. It's charging my laptop and it's charging the battery to the camera that I'm recording this on. I'm also charging the batteries to my mics that are allowing me to actually have a mic right here on my shirt. I'm also charging, well, I would be charging my phone, but I'm gonna be needing my phone for looking at a calculator, when we're gonna get into in this video. However, I'm also charging my watch and all of those good things. So that is a lot of things happening. Why am I showing all of that? Because the Anker SOLIX F2000 portable power station can charge up to 12 devices at once. Massive 2048 watt hour battery pack in there, 2400 watt AC output, which is the inverter. So if you wanted to take it camping, or if you wanted to plug in some sort of an electric cooker and cook food with it, you could absolutely do that. Why am I showing it in the house right now? It's because there's so many real world things, like I was saying. Like for example, if there is a rolling blackout, which guys, we're in the summer right now, we've hit some pretty excessive heats, and when that happens, especially in California, they become rolling blackouts. We don't realize how much we depend on power throughout the day. So when that happens, you can actually run your Anker in a rolling blackout situation. But not only that, you can also use it as a disaster relief. Hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, flooding, just heavy thunderstorms, whatever it may be, can also shut down power. Snowstorms, they can shut down power in an area for an extensive amount of time. So having an Anker SOLIX F2000 portable power station will definitely help you. Not only that, you can actually get an extender battery and double your battery capacity up to 4,096 on that portable power station. You can actually recharge this at maxing out at 1,000 watts of solar. I don't know any van lifer that has even put 1,000 watts on their van, but you can get all of your Anker solar panels, link them all up together, plug it into the station, you can angle it towards the sun, and you can recharge that by using 1,000 watts of solar in just 1.4 hours up to 80%. And lastly, while you're away from your Anker power station, you can actually control it and see the power consumed by your Anker or by all your products by just using the Anker app. So you can control everything just by your fingertips. And obviously it wouldn't be an amazing product without an amazing warranty. So Anker also provides a 5-year warranty on the Anker SOLIX F2000 portable power station. You definitely want to get yours today. Make sure that you click on that link below. And thank you again to Anker for sponsoring this video, making it completely ad-free, YouTube ad-free for everybody out there. Now, how it goes forward, we mean business. So now let's share my screen and let's go into, well, kind of dive right into Van Life Trader. And as you guys can see here, right on the home page, you know, we've got a variety of different builds. Obviously, you can pay more to be featured. That $3,500, by the way, I was thrown off by that when I first opened up the page. That's not $3,500 for the complete van. They're actually offering a monthly lease, which I looked over the first time. So we're not going to click on that, although I could rip it apart because I did go through all the pictures in that one. And by the way, there's no lights in that entire van, which is mind-boggling to me. I think lighting can truly make or break a small space like a van or a tiny house or even an apartment for that matter. You can change colors of lights, you can change effects of lighting, you can change mood with lighting. Remember all of that when building in these small spaces. I have picked a couple of, let's see, I've got the 2019 Ram Promaster 136 asking $52,900. I've got a 2018 Ford Transit asking $55,000. And I've got a 2016 Ram Promaster asking $65,000. Those are my lower end vans that I'm going to show off. And then on my higher end vans, I've got a 2021 Mercedes Sprinter 170 extended 4x4 250. We've got an all-wheel drive Sprinter and they're asking $243,500. That is a really interesting number. And I have a 2019 Ford Transit 4x4 and they are asking $220,000, which are going to be the higher end vans. As you guys can see here, I have picked 6 vans to kind of go over. So I'm hoping to spend no more than 8 to 10 minutes per van. But I really kind of gonna go through this kind of quickly. Normally I would take a lot more time on each van, but I want to get through all 6 of them, doing some compare and contrast. First one is a 2019 Ram Promaster 136 high roof asking $52,900. It looks like it is a pre-owned van, professionally built by VanWorks. That's what it says right there. We've got 46,000 miles on it, probably and counting, unless they've consigned it over to VanWorks and it's just sitting in a lot, which is possible. It looks like it's a pretty simple build, but we're going to kind of go into the details and then we're going to go into the pictures and then we're going to start comparing. I do like how they laid everything out here, just explaining everything. We got birch and fabric interior, which means it's birch plywood and or birch wood, I guess. Kitchen galley. I already know this because I looked at the photos yesterday. The kitchen galley is a pre-made product. You know, just mention what it is. If it's your product, say kitchen galley made by VanWorks. Nova Cool fridge. Is it the greatest of fridges? I don't know, it's not the worst of fridges either, but I would rather go with a different brand. But for your price point, it kind of makes sense. Sink with electric pump, we're gonna go through this, okay. 2,000 watts of solar, the 30 amp shore power plug, that's pretty standard. Fiamma rack and roof rack, that's good. Fiamma awning, excuse me. It's got a front lift kit to level the van. That is true. The front you have to do, but with all the weight in the back, you didn't really probably add that much weight, to be quite honest with you. The BF Goodrich KO2s, they rhino lined all the plastics. It seems like this is one of those vans, let's go up to the photos, that's kind of like built as like a weekend warrior type van. I love that. That's awesome. For this price point, it's actually pretty good. It's a 136-inch wheelbase. Like I said, looks very simple. Let's just click on the photo and kind of go through them. That's what I meant by the kitchen galley. It is prefab. It looks like it's a powder-coated aluminum. It could be a flatline Vanco. It could be made by VanWorks. I don't know. It could be made by Adventure Vanco. I don't know. There's a bunch of different companies out there that made pre-made metal cabinets. The reason why they probably priced it the way that it is because there is almost no labor in this. Everything in here seems like it's prefabbed. The labor intensive stuff would be wiring things up, obviously screwing things onto the walls and getting it together, obviously fabbing up things like making an erector set. They did a clean job. Now they have an AC, you can see it in the roof right there. I wonder if it's a 12 volt AC. We're gonna have to go back and check that. Dometic sink, obviously. The 6 gallon fresh, 6 gallon gray, that's great. There's your fridge. Porta potty toilet, yeah, it's about 150, 200 bucks. No big deal. Now, if you look behind the toilet, it looks like there is a portable power station running the entire van. Hey, that's fine. Oddly enough, the Anker, you know, that is sponsoring this video, I don't think it's the Anker. However, I am just saying that that Anker could technically run this entire van because of the power that you know it does provide. I mean, there's not crazy amounts of power in there. Yeah, that is definitely a portable power station, and I can go back and look. And indeed, it is some sort of portable power station. I skipped right over that when I was kind of like trying to read this real quick. It's hard for me to give an actual assessment or an appraisal of this van. It is professionally built. I know VanWorks. VanWorks is a massive company. It's not like somebody that just started a company out of their driveway and they're calling it VanWorks and now they're placing this online. It's not that simple. So if it was a DIY van, I would probably get the value of the van itself. And I've said this before in other videos, $46,000, 2019 Ram Promaster. I have no idea what that's valued at, but I could look it up relatively easy and figure out the value of that. Add up what you put into the outside, which is actually quite a bit. You know, you got the tires, you got the wheels, you've got the rack, you got the awning. At a $52,900, that's actually a really decent price from what I can see, especially making it as a weekend warrior. You could actually even use this van as a daily driver for all these people that are like, I can't afford a van and a regular car. I know a lot of people in my life that use vans as a daily driver. Let's look at a similar price to a different van, 2018 Ford Transit two-wheel drive at $55,000. Now, this looks like, because there's a guy's name right here in San Diego, it looks like it is a DIY build. Nothing wrong with that. That is fantastic. Right off the bat, I noticed it's 109,000 miles on a Ford. Different chassis. Some people are massive Ford people, some people are massive Ram people, whatever it is. It's funny that you rarely see a Sprinter in this price point. Now, Fords are definitely more expensive than a ProMaster Ram, and Sprinter is slightly more expensive than a Ford. He's asking $55 or best offer. He says it runs great. That's awesome. Unfortunately, graduate school loans are forcing him to sell. I actually like the honesty. When I put things online, I put things like, you know, I am selling this because of XYZ, and that is fine. I don't mind that. He's got a video tour. That's also great. Power, 200 amp hours of battle-born batteries. He has obviously built out his own power system, different than what that other $50-some-odd-thousand van that we just looked at. That one is a portable power station versus a all built-in kit. Propane heating system, propane gas grill, so cooking, movable for outdoor use. I like that. I think I'm going to see that in the photos here in a minute. Power isn't really a concern of mine right now because his heating system is not using his power. his heating system isn't making any cooking. So, or excuse me, the power system isn't making any cooking. It's all done through the propane. Nature's Head composting toilet, much more expensive. All right, let's go take a look at the pictures and see what it does comparison-wise. Now the wheelbase on this one seems very similar to the Promaster we just looked at. Obviously it's a different chassis, but it is different. So these are these movable tables that he was talking about. I actually kind of like that feature, to be honest with you. So Ryan, I think your name was, did a great job with that. They're kind of cool. I like that. For me, I can tell that is a DIY build, but you did a good job from what the pictures look like, although pictures can be extremely deceiving. Something I don't like, but I'm going to be a nitpick here. Also, I love photos that are landscape. I understand that a lot of people take portrait, photos with their phones, but please go to landscape. If I zoom in right here on the cabinet fronts, it looks like it's a 1/2 inch. Again, this goes back to, this is nitpicking quality, but, and I'm not trying to nitpick Ryan here, but the difference between a professional builder and a DIYer is, a professional is probably not going to have gaps like you see in that cabinet right there. You're going to be able to tell that, but I don't want to take it away from this guy. He's trying to pay for his school loans. I understand that pain. I've been there myself. He's definitely a climber, because at the rock climbing method to get up to the roof, kind of cool. Kind of scary, kind of liability, no big deal. Wheels and tires, big thing. Obviously you have it on the Ram Promaster, you don't have it on this Transit. Is it an easy upgrade fixing it yourself? Of course it is. You can easily do that yourself. I don't know if the aesthetically pleasing pictures of the outdoors is needed, but I guess it's a nice touch, sure. Exposed Nature's Head toilet, I kind of would want to cover that up. Again, I'm kind of nitpicking design features. Is this worth the 52 or 55 that Ryan is asking for it? That last picture, by the way, just make sure that you have it a little more in focus. I understand he's trying to show bikes off and things like that, like what it can do. Is it worth the 55? I don't think so. It's a DIY build van with 100,000 miles on it. It's hard to say because I have no idea what that van is valued at. I have no idea what he put into it. My best way to do this is, like I said, you take the value of the van, you take what you put into it, and then you double that number, and then that gives your labor. And the reason you double that number for labor is because that's just my rule, my own little rule of thumb, sure. But you now have a lot of wiggle room. So let's say you put $20,000 worth of product materials and all that good jazz into a van. Now you add another 20 as labor. That number can fluctuate just massively, right? Somebody that is a really, really good DIYer, I don't even know if I put myself in that category, but somebody that is a really good DIYer can be up to the top of that 20,000, maybe even beyond that number. That 1-to-1 ratio is what I call it. Somebody that maybe isn't as experienced can definitely take that number and discount it. They can say, maybe my value isn't as good as some of these other builders that I'm seeing out there, whether you're building out of a driveway or you have a shop. Maybe I'm not worth that 20,000 that Jarrod is saying. Maybe I'm more worth like a 10,000, and I can now deduct my price. But it's a good starting point to start a little high. Don't go too high. You don't want to, overshoot it and then all of a sudden discount it by like 50 grand. And now the buyer's like, why is this van all of a sudden $50,000 price tag difference? That can hurt you just like it can hurt you in the real estate world. But in the current market that we are in, it is again a buyer's market. People are gonna be like, hey, I'm not gonna offer you the 55, but you have that wiggle room like I was talking about. It's just kind of a good thing to look at. Let's look at the last low level or low cheaper build option. Again, Ram Promaster. Sorry I couldn't find a Sprinter at a lower price point. This also, it doesn't really say a name. That's fine. We'll take a look at those pictures. It's also a larger wheelbase Promaster. 111,000 miles. I mean, so maybe in comparison to 2016, by the way, maybe in comparison to the Ford we just saw, maybe your Ford is priced correctly. Maybe that original Promaster, the 2019 one that we saw, maybe that one is just priced really low. I don't really know, but it's something to consider, right? Really the biggest difference between this one and the other, and the Ford, I guess, and then the Ram compared to the Ford as well, is probably power system. because power systems can make a van fluctuate in price that much. But we're gonna find out. And it's funny I mentioned power because the auxiliary battery type in this one says that it is AGM. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Custom built in Austin, Texas by a professional builder who worked at the likes of Sportsmobile, Touring, and Van Life Customs. Big name companies, you better back that up. Touring, I don't know if you spelled that way, but I could be wrong. Zero wear and tear pass on to you. I don't know how that's possible because you lived out of this. New battery, well that's good. Is it a van battery or is it a house battery? Please, say that. However, I will say I like how you, made the listing because you have a roomy interior. I would just put interior. Enjoy a spacious, blah, 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 okay. Kitchen features, I would even start there. You don't have to put the roomy interior. Kitchen features, design features, and comfort accessories. So kitchen features, you have a herringbone countertop, that's cool. 62 quart chest file fridge, it's a winter, excuse me. You did say winter, excuse me. Winter, I actually like winter a lot. Induction burner, ready to be plugged in at your campsite. Induction burner ready to be, I don't know why you worded it that way. Let's go to comfort accessories. Diesel heater, 2 max air fans, power specs, tons of outlets, USB ports, charging, 2 12-volt, 125 amp hour batteries, and a Renogy system. The thing is, with the 125 amp hour batteries, 2 of them, if they are AGM, which I will have to maybe see in photos, if they are the 125 amp hours, then really you're only getting 125 amp hours of usable power because that's the difference between AGM and lithium. AGM, you can only deplete to 50%. So if you have 2 at 125, that's 250 amp hours, but you only have usable power of 125 amp hours. With lithium, you can deplete it technically all the way down, but they say for safety, you're only supposed to deplete it down to something like 5%. But with lithium and the BMS systems that they have now in these batteries, they pretty much cut it off before you even get into damaging. So I don't have to go into a whole battery spiel. That is really the biggest difference between these 3 lower end vans where it's like your power. The first power is a portable power station. Nothing wrong with that. Obviously the video is sponsored by Anker, but that is a less expensive option for power system. And then you have the battle-born batteries, which are lithium batteries. And then we're gonna see how they have to configure that because I'd wanna see that van in person. And then you have this one, which is an AGM battery system. And so if anything, this one's a little overvalued, but I don't know what this person charged that person to build out the van, but let's go to the picture and let's see how the build quality is. You can see in that first picture that he's got wheels and tires. It looks like it's the KO2s, looks like it's Black Rhino wheels. You're showing, the problem is with these selling photos is you're showing the lifestyle more than the van itself, at least in the first 3, Now we're showing obviously the van and the build, and it looks like it's a birch ply, fine. I don't even know if it's a birch. There's your winter fridge. Like I said, I actually like the winter fridge. It looks like they laminated the surfaces, great for durability purposing. Coin floor at top. Again, looks like kind of a simple build. There's your closet storage. Interesting that it is a professional builder, yet they didn't, cap the ends of the plywood with some sort of finish, I guess. There's a bunch of different ways to do that. They left the edge of plywood exposed. I would only leave edge of plywood exposed if it was a pretty edge of plywood like a Baltic birch, which is a multi-layer ply, or bamboo. Both of those have really pretty end grains to them, and they're meant to be exposed. Shiplap throughout, obviously, look at it. Did a good trim job here on the side. I can see that. This is a peel and stick on tile. Why do I know that? Because I've used it in my past. Is that chevron or herringbone? I think it's a chevron, but it's okay. I'm not going to nitpick. I just did. Sorry. Herringbone is like this. Chevron is like this. Herringbone, chevron, everybody. Okay. I'm done. Sorry, dude. I'm just nitpicking, and I'm sorry, but I'm nitpicking. Oh, man, I shouldn't do this. Okay. If you're going to try and sell your van for $60,000, please iron your sheets and don't have them wrinkled in photos. These are big ticket items, guys. We're trying to impress the consumer that is looking at it. And for me, if I am trying to sell something for a profit, then I want it to be in the best quality possible. So having sheets ironed out and no wrinkles, that is a big thing for me. I'm sorry. Maybe people can agree or disagree with me. It's just small, little, minute details will go a long freaking way when trying to sell anything. Is it worth the 65 grand? I don't know. I don't know what that builder charged him or them, whatever. I don't know who this is. A 2016 with 100,000 miles on it? No, flat out not worth 65 in my opinion. I would be shocked if you got over 50 on that, but I'd have to really dive into numbers to really understand it. You're using an AGM battery, I don't mean to tear you down. I feel bad doing these kind of videos. All right, let's jump into the higher end builds because I don't feel as bad about tearing those people down. A 2021 Mercedes Sprinter 170 extended 4x4. Darren, what up? From his icon there, he's pretty jacked. So I'm not going to try and piss him off too much. 14,000 miles Sprinter 4x4 170, I think is what it said, right? Yeah, 170 extended. This is a big, big van. All right, as I'm scrolling here, already off the bat kind of pisses me off. 60-gallon water tank. I knew I was going to whip out my phone at one point. 60 gallons. Let's do some quick little math for everybody here. Gallon of water weighs 8.34 pounds. I'm sorry, guys, I'm in the States. I'm using pounds, not kilograms. You multiply that by, what I say, 60. And that is 500 pounds of water that you possibly having in your van. Holy Christmas, that is a lot of weight. Now, I am praying that you upgraded suspension, but if you didn't, you need to. From the photos that it looks like it is probably, and by the price tag, it damn well better be upgraded suspension. 1,000 amp hours of lithium. Again, this makes a big difference between the lower end vans to the higher end vans. We've got vans that are 200 amp hours, and now you have vans that are 1,000 amp hours. You're probably using a different name brand. You're probably using like a Lithionics or ReLion. You're probably not using Battleborn or Renergy. Are they bad? No, of course not. But is that the difference? Yes, of course it is. 3,000 watt inverter, 350 watts of solar. Now this kind of pisses me off. 1,000 amp hours of battery, only 350 watts of solar. It would take a long time to recharge that batteries from dead. Now, if you are in a 12 volt system, you want to take the 1,000 amp hours, multiply it by 12, and that's your watt hour, so 12,000 watt hours. And 350, then you can do the math, 350 into 12,000, and that's how long it would take for you to recharge it from a dead state. Now, my assumption is they have a secondary alternator to help regen that house battery system. So right here it does say aftermarket suspension, which is huge help. We're gonna check on that extra alternator to help with the recharging of it. Dream camper with tons of fridge space, battery power, and a water capacity to live full-time off-grid. You ain't lying there, but you gotta come with weight, buddy. Don't want to piss you off, you're jacked. Okay, so I actually love this. They listed everything. It's a 2021 Mercedes Sprinter 170 extended 4x4. He even put the engine in there. V6 3.0 diesel, fully loaded from factory. Good to know, because trust me when I tell you this, a fully loaded Sprinter is like $10,000, $15,000 more than just a base Sprinter. Let's see here. Miles 13.9 and counting. We already said it was 14, so that's good. He's honest about that, which is good. Brand new build, just finished. So why are you selling? 4-season, fully insulated with what? I'd love to know what the insulation is. 4 seat belts. It is a Bellagio foldaway seat, so that is true. The Bellagio foldaway seat does have seat belts in there. Swivel seats from the front. Seats up to 6 for comfortably. Again, I like the honesty. Huge 990 amp hour Victron battery system. That's fine. I said a bunch of other brands earlier, but Victron is a good battery system. Second alternator with 300, there it is. Second alternator is what I wanted to see. Fully off-grid capable. I don't know how many times you're going to want to say that, but it's true. Electric dry flush toilet. Again, that's the difference between like a composting and a dry flush. This is more of a luxury build, hence the price tag of $250,000. Arctic Turn electric roof hatch. That's good. True burner cooktop. Headliner shelf. Blah 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 blah. Exterior, you've got a Luminous, you've got owl vans, you've got the one-up bike tray, you got lighting, the LP9s, big time, they're $1,000 lights, $800 lights. You know, there's a lot of stuff here that are added to make that price tag into the $250,000 upper echelon price tag. I actually like the photo, especially the first photo. You are highlighting your exterior features, you're highlighting where you are, but focal point, just making sure the van is in focal point over the, you know, the background. Again, it's a good shot though. This is more of a, again, nitpicky thing where it's like, if you're gonna put like a photo like this to sell a massively priced van, you know, go into Lightroom and kind of just change around the lighting, make it brighter, change the shadows a little bit, but you're showing the rear really well, you're showing the side really well, you've got the flares on there, you're showing all that really well, you're showing the luminous rack, the ladder, all of that you're showing in this one photo. Good shot with the front, you're showing the bumper, you're showing the snorkel. These are high resolution pictures as well. I like that. Good job, Darren. Lighting is obviously better because the lighting is now on the other side, the flip side. The reason he's showing so many pictures on the outside is because you've got 40 grand, maybe 50 grand of exterior parts just on the outside. Suspension is 10, bumpers, I should say, as well as all the back racks and the roof racks. You're looking at another 10, 15 grand. Lighting, you're looking at 4 grand, maybe 5. Snorkel is not cheap. You know, all those things, side steps, tires, wheels, all those things you're looking at least maybe 40, 50 grand just in exterior. So he's really showing that in the photos. He explained it in the description. Now we're getting to the inside. Boom, back shot. This photo is supposed to show the capability of having 2 beds in there. It looks like it is the Adventure Wagon Moab bed from what it looks like. Not a bad bed system, it's just a, there it is. There it is. I believe it's the type of beds that actually, because the size of the walls of the van go up, the bed you can see in the middle actually comes together as you move the beds up and down on that L track. It's a pretty cool system. The problem is with this is you have upper cabinets going both on both sides of the top. So if you are sleeping side to side, that's why you put the flares in there. By the way, when you have a 170 extended, just look, or 170, look at the size of the flare. Really, if you're super tall, you have to sleep where that flare is. You have to have a second person that's smaller sleep way up top. And then you're gonna feel a little claustrophobic-y because you are gonna be so up close to the upper cabinet. So in this case, because you are such a large van, I would take out one of the upper cabinets on one of the sides to kind of give that extra headspace if you are going to have a bunk bed style. If you're gonna have a bed that's going to be lower, then that's fine, but maybe have one of the sides as a soft storage bag. I also don't want to take away the quality of the build because you did a great job. I think that's a 12-volt fridge. It's a massive fridge. See, I like the bed the way that it's set up here. You had really good photos on the exterior, and you have this photo on the interior just doesn't do it for me. Good shot of the Bellagio seat. It is a dry flush toilet, by the way. Laveo dry flush. Showing off the, he put a lot of photos in there, shows the engine. 18 photos, that's fantastic. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to hear. That's a great photo. It's a great photo. For me, the biggest thing that makes you into a luxury or super luxury van is the exterior components, which I don't think your ROI, your return on your investment, is really there. I don't think that you're gonna get too much out of your labor. You're gonna get most of your labor on the build on the inside. What also makes it jump is the power system as well as your heating system. I want to go back down here and see the difference between heaters here for 1 second. I am looking for the heater, but I really can't see it anywhere. I know it has a diesel heater in here, but I was looking to see if it was a hydronic heater or if it was just a air top, you know, forced air heater. Yes, there is a difference. No, hydronic heating doesn't mean floor heating. You can have a hydronic system that is using glycol to heat, to be like a furnace. And that's probably the best way for me to describe it. In my opinion, those furnace style or the hydronic heaters are definitely top of line when it comes to heating a van. Now, obviously you're gonna be adding floor heat is even that much more. I think any van that's going to be over 250,000 in today's market should probably have floor heating in it. And hydronic floor heating, not electric pad floor heating, hydronic heated floors. And there's like 3 or 4 companies that do that right now. If you're gonna be at that 250 price point, that's what I think you should have. I think you should have the AC. I think you should have all that exterior components. These are the things that I think you should have when you have a $250,000 price tag. Do you have all those things? Unfortunately, no, I don't think you do. So do I think it's worth $250? No. Do I think that you priced it correctly? Yeah, because I think you gave yourself enough wiggle room to really negotiate price. But the build quality looked good in photos. It looks like you used a lot of great components exterior. It looks like you use a lot of great components interior. You obviously have it as an adventure van because it's a 4x4 170 extended. You can sleep multiple people and you can seat multiple people. So all of these things are kind of working in your favor. The things that I would like to see is the heater upgrade, and you have plenty of power, plenty of power. All right, so we're definitely far enough along in the video. My camera battery died. But again, thank you to the Anker SOLIX F2000 portable power station. I was able to be charging my camera battery this whole time. Yes, I could have plugged into the outlets, but my point is we can use that to actually power our devices if a natural disaster happens or something like that will happen. So again, shout out to Anker for charging all my devices, having my computer on while we're doing this, running all this. We started at 93% on that, so we're gonna see what we end at when we get there. All right, so moving right along, the 2023 all-wheel drive Sprinter, new tech 12-volt Starlink solar, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna go through these a little bit quicker now because we kind of have a base. This is built by Brooklyn Camper Vans. Okay, I know that company. They're out in Brooklyn, New York. It's got the new Gen 3 Starlink. We got 725 watts of 725 of solar. You forgot the W, but that's okay. 10 kilowatt hours of battery. I wonder what they're running at 12, 24, or 48 volt. Doesn't really matter, but I do like how you put it in kilowatts. Plenty of off-grid AC with a Dometic RTX. 360-degree cameras. I kind of like that. Full size with 2 bump outs, just say flares or van speed capsules. We all know what it is. 6'6" in length. 4 seasons R15 insulation using what? I want to know what, because R15 is debatable. Webasto diesel heater by certified installers. That's great that you're a certified installer through Webasto. Your price tag is $243.5. Again, that's the difference between a hydronic heater and a Webasto heater. If you're gonna be over 200, in my opinion, which I don't know what it's worth, I think you should have a hydronic heater, not an air top heater or a forced air heater. So this is a professional build with the higher standards of customer care. Everything made to be easily serviceable for a lifetime peace of mind. That is really the biggest difference between a professional builder and a DIYer out of their driveway or backyard. Having serviceability is super important and very overlooked by a lot of new builders or first-time builders or second or even third-time builders. It is just something that we just forget about. Serviceability. Having a van that is serviceable, because guess what? Brooklyn Camper Vans is in New York. If you're visiting the Pacific Northwest, you have to maybe take it to a company like Nomadic Customs and have it serviced by them because if something maybe went wrong, maybe it's even under warranty or whatever. You have to make sure that other builders are able to service it. Nomadic Customs actually has a service department that handles other builders or other people's builds that you can book. It's like going into like getting your car fixed. That's what Nomadic Customs can do. So if you're out visiting the Pacific Northwest and you can't get back to Brooklyn Camper Vans to fix it, then guess what? You can just have somebody like that fix it. And the whole point of me saying all this is because the serviceability is important. They have a video. I'm not gonna watch the video. I'm just gonna look at the photos because there's one thing I'm really gonna be kind of upset about, but not upset. I feel like if you guys have watched my channel long enough, then you know Abby and you know Kirby, okay? These are two tours that I have done, and I feel like a lot of people have been now kind of emulating or copying them. It's hard to say that this build came out after them, but it may have. Kirby used a thing called lime wash paint, and this seems like it's lime wash paint. Is it over, like, it's gonna be overdone soon, I can promise you that. If you're gonna have the bump outs, have the mattress go into the bump outs. Have them custom made, especially at a price point of $243. Okay, now I'm really gonna rip into you. Oh no, oh no. That is the reason they said it's 10 kilowatt hours of battery is because it's made by a company that, I'm just gonna say it, it's made by EcoFlow, and they make a product that can go into a van, it's plug and play, right? But you're selling a $243,000 van with an all-in-one power kit. No, 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 no. Damn, that pisses me off. Custom make your kits at a over $200,000 price tag. This van, I'm already going to say, sorry Brooklyn Camper Vans, I don't care anymore. You're not worth $243,000. I don't care how much labor you put into this. No, damn it. Oh my God. Because the products into this is like 30 grand. I don't know what the exterior is. Let's keep going through these photos. The paneling is wood panel with lime wash paint on it. It's a textured paint. Yes, you did good cabinetry, good clean cabinetry. It's a little bit easier when you have a CNC machine. I get that. Yes, you have a shower. By the way, you better have treated that wood because that is in a shower. Yeah, now I'm gonna really start. Now you pissed me off. I'm sorry. By putting a plug and play kit into a over $200,000 van. You've got to be kidding me. Aesthetically, it's beautiful. It's really stunning. But you look at the exterior, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Brooklyn Camper Vans, what are you guys doing? Seriously, now you're really pissing me off. You didn't do anything to the exterior. You have Darren that has a $250,000 van, $7,000 more, and it has 40 grand in exterior components. You guys didn't upgrade tires, didn't upgrade wheels. You put an amp research step, big deal. You didn't put a bumper on there. You have no lights. You have a rack and an awning. Get with it. Nothing on the back. Ooh, you got a bunch of solar and you got a Dometic RTX. Let's move on. I am obviously passionate about this. I am passionate about people charging what they should be charging. I am passionate about people not getting taken advantage of. And if I just put a company out of business, I apologize. But this is my job to point out to the consumer whether or not they are getting taken advantage of or not. And it's the company's job to readjust on what their price point is. We're gonna go back to that real quick, and it's a 2023 all-wheel drive Sprinter. I get that. It is likely a 170 Sprinter, all-wheel drive. So off the showroom floor, it's probably 70, 80 grand. You probably put in, without including labor, I mean, at best, 40, 50 grand. You are now charging $100,000 worth of your labor. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see $100,000 worth of labor here, because for me and one or two of my friends, I can build this in 8 weeks. So I'm doing some quick math right now, and if I paid myself $50 an hour and I paid somebody else $50 an hour, that's $100 an hour. I estimate that I could get this build done with somebody else in 8 to 12 weeks. So we'll do the happy medium of 10. So 100 hours times 40 hours a week, that's $4,000 labor-wise. And I say it's gonna take me 10 weeks, which is about right. That's 40 grand worth of labor. So you could even 2x that and you're still not at $100,000 yet. So I get it. You have, as a company that you are, I get that you have overhead and insurance and everything else in there, but I don't see the number for what you put into this van. It is a clean, aesthetically beautiful, well put together van, but you put zero labor into the electrical system. Literally. You ran rough electrical wiring. You put zero into building the kit. That is one person's job for like 2 or 3 days typically to build an entire kit. You didn't do anything. You didn't put a cruise and comfort air conditioner in, you put a rooftop mounted system in there for your air conditioning. Again, minimal labor, can do it in 1 day. You have CNC to cut all your cabinetry and you assemble it all yourself. That's maybe a week's worth of work, and then putting it into the van, maybe another week's worth of work. Your insulation and everything else, again, maybe a week's worth of work. Painting and finishing and all that good stuff, 2 to 3 weeks worth of work. At most, and I'm being generous there. So yes, I am, and you put practically nothing into the exterior, so there's no exterior labor there. And that is where me justifying all of those numbers I just said makes sense. So is it worth $243,500? Absolutely not. I don't even know if I can go on. I am so frustrated. All right, real quick, and we're gonna end this video. 2019 Ford, 220,000 4x4. You got 39,000 miles. I don't even want to take my anger out on this person because I like you in this photo right here. You know, you're living the good life. I feel bad. So I don't know if I want to do this because I'm frustrated. Now you're looking for the ultimate adventure vehicle. No, if I was looking for the ultimate adventure vehicle, I'd be spending $250,000, $300,000 on an actual adventure vehicle. 2019 Ford Transit 4x4. Does it come 4x4 or does it have a Quigley? Because Transits actually didn't make 4x4. You have to get a Quigley or another company that does the conversion. So please say that in your description. Maybe you did. I haven't gone through the entire description. Heating and cooling, efficient heating system with fantastic fan for ventilation. Please say what the heating system is. Oh my God, I'm getting asking price $220,000. It just doesn't. I don't even know if I have to look at the pictures for me to make sense that the asking price is $220,000. It's probably professionally built. He probably lived out of it for a while, and he's probably trying to flip it or sell it to make his money back. It's a good build. It's clean. It's nice. It's got the tires, wheels, maybe a lift kit on there. It's got the rim. It's got the roof rack. I get that. Oh, there it is. Benchmark made it, and that's why. Trying to get their price back from Benchmark. It's a Benchmark build. Benchmark is probably one of the best builders out in the country right now behind Nomadic Customs. But they do good work. But here's the thing, guys. When you buy a van, a boat, an RV, it's not gonna hold its value unless you build it yourself, which I don't know how many people are building boats out there. Unless you're building it yourself and then you can flip it for a profit. And it's really hard for you to buy off of a showroom floor and you to make your money back. Now, with vans and boats and RVs and all that stuff, it does fluctuate with market. Right now, we're in a down market. How many times do I have to say that? Unfortunately, we're in a down market right now, guys, and it just comes with the territory. So either hold on to your assets or take it for a loss. Same thing with real estate. Same exact thing happens. So before I get into my passion overtakes me and I get way too angry, I'm gonna end the video here. You guys are now hopefully can see the difference between a lower end cheaper build to the higher end builds. And the higher end builds, yes, I'm gonna lean into very hard because you're gonna be holding yourself to a higher standard. So with that higher standard, I'm gonna rip you apart. And that's just what I do. Stay tuned next time. And thank you to Anker for sponsoring this video, making sure that we don't have to have any YouTube ads in this video. Make sure that you click that link below to get your Anker today. And I'll see everybody next time.